and Hess law, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so the first question was related to, wait a second. Can't see yours right now. Okay. The first question was related to the work done when one mole of gas is allowed to expand freely into vacuum. Okay. So I hope that you all will remember that if I am doing anything in vacuum, if I have a gas, any gas, and there is a vacuum, that means there is no P external is equal to what, 0. Then we know that W is equal to negative of P external times delta V. So whatever the change in volume is there, it is not going to affect the work done, and that is why this work will be equal to 0. So yes, that is correct. The A answer is correct. Second one is, in an isochoric process, the increase in internal energy. So if we have isochoric. So isochoric process means that the change in the volume will be equal to 0. And they are asking that the change in internal energy. And we know that change in internal and also write the work done as negative of P external times delta V. Now, since it is an isochoric process, the delta V will be equal to 0, and that is why our delta U, the internal energy change, will be equal to only the heat involved in that particular process. Okay, and next is we have, which of the following is not a state function? Okay, fine. So heat is not a state function, right? Heat is not a state function, so that is correct. So all three are correct. Now, who else? I can't see a few of your. Okay, now I think you're uploaded. Okay, fine. So again, AAC, that is correct. And was also got uploaded. No, I can see Sarah is getting uploaded.
Sir, I had uploaded it a few days ago.
You uploaded a few days ago?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it should be coming here, but it is not right now. Wait a second. Wait a second. Let me see if there's by some other name. No, no other name. Don't worry, quick kahin jayega nahi wo. Okay, and anyone else who has sent the assignment, can you please raise your hand? Okay, fine. Now it is getting uploaded here. I can see it. Okay. Okay, so equal to the heat absorbed. That is correct. What is this?
A.
Yeah. Near plug. Sorry, my bad. A, and C. That is correct. Okay, anyone else who has submitted the assignment? Sakshi, what about you? Sakshi, you did not submit the assignment. हमने पढ़ा ही दिया था किसी दिन लगता है आपको यहाँ पे. What about anyone else? No? Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So we have thermodynamics. Now, I need to talk to the new students here. Okay. Matthew, can you hear me? Can you please turn the mic on?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. Which school are you from?
Addis Ababa.
Okay. It's in Kerala only?
No, it's in Abu Dhabi. I am.
Achha, it's in Abu Dhabi. Oh, that is why I was asking now whether, I mean, are you in Kerala right now?
Okay. All right.
I mean, that is the, what I would say, that is the normal here. This is completely Middle East batch. Some students, they are here, but previously they have been living in Middle East. Okay, fine. And what subjects do you have? Do you have biology or mathematics or both?
I have biology. I don't have mathematics.
So you don't have mathematics. What with biology? What other subjects do you have? Computer science or something else?
Psychology I took. So.
Psychology. What are you learning in psychology? I had two electives as psychology in my BSc times.
Oh,
What are you
okay.
learning right now in psychology?
No, right now we're learning about human behavior. So yeah,
Human behavior. So you're learning about motivation,
yeah,
Maslow's
motivation. Yeah. Maslow's
motivation, hierarchy
hierarchy.
of needs.
Yeah.
Huh?
We
You
just
remember them?
completed that. Yeah,
You
yeah,
remember them? Tell me, what
yeah.
are the needs?
Yeah, sort of. There is
Hmm.
material needs, then there is uh yeah, we did that part like before the vacation, so I'm a bit
Towards the
vague about
vacation.
it, but
Okay.
yeah, so
Uh, okay,
so
fine. So
yeah.
your material needs, like in Hindi we say roti kapda makan, right?
Mhm.
You understand a bit of Hindi?
Yeah, a bit, yeah, I do.
Okay, so roti kapda makan means like you need something to eat, you need something for the shelter, I mean to live, and you need some clothes on. So that is the basic material needs that humans have. And what else after that? After that, we will have something called security, right? I
Yes,
vaguely
security
remember
needs, then
security.
there's emotional, and then
Yeah, after that there is
yeah.
emotional. Like
Mhm.
you, then you prepare a bank balance, and after that you marry, and
Yes.
then there is some social status that you now get a big home just to show off, and after that you don't have to show anything to the society, and that is the highest level of achievement one can have according to the Maslow's theory. Okay, fine. Okay,
Mhm.
thank you for refreshing
Yes.
my psychology. Thank you. Okay, what
Yes,
about
thank you.
Sumaya?
Hi, sir.
Hi, good evening. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Fine.
Okay, where are you from?
I'm from Kerala, but I'm studying in Salala.
नहीं
in
तो
this
सलाला तो I don't know. You had to name the country.
Oman.
Oman. Okay, Oman. Oman में I know only Muscat. And is that place in Oman only? Wadi Al Kabir?
So yeah, it's in Oman only, but Wadi Al Kabir is in Muscat and Salala is in it's far.
Okay, so Wadi Al Kabir is in Muscat only.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Okay, fine. So I know
So
only two things.
Salala is really beautiful place.
Sumaya, is that correct?
Yes, sir, I didn't hear.
Is it really beautiful? Aisha is saying it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Why?
more like
I mean, what is there? Like,
There is like, there is waterfall and all those all stuffs are there. I visited there when I was in 7th class.
okay. So, Sumaya, you are in Oman, like from your birth, or you have been studying in Oman since your lower standards, like nursery?
I studied. I'm brought up in like I studied from UKG till now. I was
Till now.
born in Kerala.
Okay, you were
And
born in
now
Kerala, but you
I'm
have been
in
completely brought up in Oman. Okay. What about
yeah.
you, Matthew?
Yeah, I've been born here and been brought up here too. So
Here only. Okay.
yeah.
So, you're in Abu Dhabi, na? So I am hearing that Dubai is going to get a 4.5 days of week. So
Yes,
is that also going
yes.
to affect the schools?
No, I don't know about that, but for us it's 2.5. Yeah,
Two
for
and a
us
half,
it's 2.5. Yes.
2.5 days of school
No, 2.5 days of weekends and
holiday.
then
Of
a
weekend.
holiday.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Weekend is 2.5 days. Acha. Any idea which subject am I going to teach? Matthew and Sumaya.
Chemistry.
Yeah,
What?
chemistry.
Chemistry.
Chemistry. Any idea about the chapter?
No, we haven't started thermodynamics yet. So yeah.
What about Sumaya? You know the chapter?
No, sir.
No. Okay, fine. So we are going to study thermodynamics. Okay, we're going to study thermodynamics. I mean, we have had a few lessons of thermodynamics earlier with other students, so you are kind of joining late. But don't worry, you will, first of all, the first thing is that you will obviously get the recorded lectures. And secondly, I am there. Okay. So in case when you watch the lectures, you have to put in times. That is something that you have to put, right? Otherwise, how it can go. See, you have not I mean, just think of watching the lectures as you have not attended the classes. Now, if you have not attended the classes, then you obviously have to watch those lectures. So after watching the lecture, if you have any problem, then you can. Acha, are you in contact with Nishkars, sir? Yes, Matthew and Sumaya, or I think your
No.
parents are. No, your parents are in contact with the administration, I
Right.
guess.
They might know. Yes. I am not sure.
Okay, so you can, what you can do is you can just take the phone number of Nishkar sir, and then you can message him. I mean that you want some doubt clearing session or something, and then he can help you out. Okay. So you said that thermodynamics. Have you studied thermodynamics in school?
No. We haven't started it.
So you haven't started it. What about you, Sumaya?
No, sir.
Yes. No, you haven't started thermodynamics in your school also. Okay. Fine. So there are a few things that we have done, but right now what I will suggest you is that we are entering into the numerical domain of thermodynamics. The theoretical part is almost come over, and you just see the patterns on how we are solving the numericals. You will obviously get the pattern. It is quite easy. Thermodynamics is not a very tough chapter. Okay, it's not a very tough chapter. Especially the numerical part is not very tough. The theoretical part is a bit confusing if you are reading it for the first time. So what we deal in thermodynamics is about the heat, right? Dynamics means flow. So we basically learn about the flow of heat, basically learn about flow of heat. And it is quite very true for chemistry that we mostly focus on heat flow and not very much in physics, where we also focus on the work done. Now here in chemistry also we focus on work done, but that is small part of thermodynamics that we learn. Most part is thermochemistry, and that involves the flow of heat. Okay, the flow of heat. There are a few terms that you must be knowing. There are a few reactions which are endothermic and some are exothermic. Have you ever heard of these terms? Yes or no? Yes, Mariam, Sumaya and Matthew.
Yes, I've heard of it. Yeah.
You have heard of it. Okay, you have heard about this. Okay, fine. Now, in endothermic reaction, we need to put in energy. We need to heat the system. We need to put in energy. In exothermic reactions, the energy is evolved or energy is released from the system. Energy is released from the system. Okay. Now, there is a certain term that we are studying, and that is known as enthalpy. Enthalpy, what you can understand that delta H we say, and this is a sign for enthalpy. Okay. Now, enthalpy is nothing. Enthalpy is nothing. Whenever you do some reaction, where you're going to do the chemical reaction, you're going to do that chemical reaction is laboratory. Yes or no? In a lab, right? Chemistry is done in a lab?
Yes.
Okay. Now, at lab, I can see that there is one thing which is constant. There is one thing which is constant, which is the external pressure that is equal to 1 atmospheric pressure. Yes or no? 1 atm. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, if you have 1 atm pressure, that means we are doing everything in 1 atm pressure, and whatever heat is either evolved from the system or it is required by the system to do a particular reaction, that heat, that means QP, the heat released or absorbed at constant pressure, it is known as enthalpy. Okay, so it is nothing. Enthalpy is heat, but at constant pressure. Okay, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, can you just remember this part? That enthalpy is nothing but the heat absorbed or heat involved in a reaction at a constant pressure. Okay, can I move on?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So for those who were learning with me last class, what did we do in the last class? We did a question, I guess, right? We did a question, right? Yeah. Okay, we did a question. I think maybe we should try doing a few more these type of questions and let the new student also understand what is going on. Okay, so Sumaya and Matthew, you not you don't worry about this. Okay, maybe you will get this, maybe you will not. There are both chances, but what I feel is that you are going to get whatever we are going to do right now, whatever questions that we are going to try right now. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, so write a question. calculate the enthalpy of formation. Calculate the enthalpy of formation of chloride ion from the following data. So the data that have been given is half moles of H2 plus half mole of Cl2. They react together and they form 1 mole of HCl gas. Now the enthalpy change that is present here for the formation of HCl, it is equal to minus 92.8 kilojoule per mole. That means if I'm going to make 1 mole of HCl, then 92.8 kilojoule of energy is released. Okay, so those who are new, this negative sign shows that the energy is released. Okay, and this is the magnitude of how much energy is released. Okay, this is showing energy is released. If there was a positive sign, it would mean that energy is given to the system, energy is absorbed by the system. Okay, energy is absorbed by the system. You have been given this one equation, and the other equation that you have been given is HCl plus H2O gives H3O plus plus Cl negative and the delta H for this reaction, this is given as minus 75.2 kilojoule per mole. Okay, kilojoule per mole. That means this particular reaction, that is HCl, if I add HCl to water, then 75.2 kilojoule per mole of energy is liberated by the system. Okay, any problem till here? Yes, guys?
No, sir.
Okay. So this is the question. Okay, how are we going to solve this question? Okay, one more thing that I want to say is that this enthalpy of formation and this enthalpy of reaction, whatever we have written here, it should be consistent with whatever you are doing in the chemical equation. What I mean is that if I multiply this equation by 2, I need to multiply here also by 2, because this number, it is per mole. If I do anything to the reaction, this value of delta HF, it is completely dependent on what reaction you're writing. So if you multiply by 2 here, you also have to multiply 2 in this particular equation. Okay, so this is the thing that I wanted to tell. Okay, now how are we going to do this particular question? Okay, now see, here we have to calculate the enthalpy of formation of chloride ion from the following data. So we have the chloride ion here, right? Now we have two reactions. We have been given two reactions. What I can do is if I add these two reactions, let us say, if I will have half H2 plus half Cl2 giving HCl. Okay, and here we have HCl plus H2O giving H3O plus and plus Cl negative. Okay, now if I will add these two equations, now I'm writing the complete thing. Those who have with me from the previous class, they can cancel a few things from here also, but I will write it completely. For example, I start with half mole of H2, half moles of H2 plus half moles of Cl2 plus HCl plus H2O. It is going to give me HCl plus H3O positive plus Cl negative plus Cl negative. Now I see that I have HCl on the left hand side of the equation and also right hand side of the equation. That what I can do, I can eliminate these two. I can eliminate these two. So the equation that I get after all is half H2 plus half of Cl2 plus H2O. It is going to give me H3O plus Cl negative plus Cl negative. Okay. Now, okay. So I hope the previous student, they don't have any problem. But what about Matthew and Sumaya? You understand this? How I eliminated HCl and HCl? Are you okay with this?
Yes, sir.
And you must have done this type of thing in redox reaction if you have learned it in the first term.
Oh, yes, sir.
Right? Anna?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
fine. Okay. So now we have a reaction here. Now we have a reaction. And see, what I said is that whatever we are going to do now, whatever we are going to do with the equations, the same thing we have to do with the enthalpy changes. Okay. The thermochemical equation, it has a part where we write about the thermodynamics. That is whatever heat is involved. So for this equation here, for this equation, I can write the delta H naught of reaction. It is equal to what? We have added two reactions. That is why what I will do, I will add these two numbers. I will add these two numbers. That is 92.8 minus 92.8 plus minus of 75.2, and both will be in kilojoule per mole. Okay. Now if I add this, then how much will I get? I will get 8 plus 2, that is 0, point, and then I will get 8. And after that, what I will get is 168 kilojoule per mole, right? Any difficulty till here? Any difficulty till here? You understand how we added this, right? Yes or no? What about other guys? Yes, Samira,
Yes, sir.
Sarah. Yes, Mariam. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what are we doing? We are essentially, we are destroying these terms. We are destroying these things, and we are forming these two molecules. We are forming these two molecules. Okay, we are forming these two molecules. So what I can write is, whatever the change in enthalpy of reaction, it is equal to what? The sum of the enthalpy of formation, delta H naught F of all the delta H naught F of what? Of all these things, right? That means we are forming this, so it will be in positive of the products minus the delta HF naught of the reactants. Okay. So since the reactants are going away, so the reactants are going away, that is the result. And the products are being formed. The products are being formed. Now, what are the products? Delta HF naught of H3O plus, okay, of H3O plus the delta HF naught of Cl negative minus the reactants. What are the reactants? The reactants are, okay. Now H2O, what I can do is now I can remove this H2O here. Why? Because H2O is not, it is not coming into the equation. It is not playing any part because water is just a solution in which we are doing the reaction. It is, if I write it like this, if I rather write it like this, that it is happening in aqueous phase. So everything is happening in what? Everything is happening in aqueous phase. Okay. So what I can essentially do is I can essentially remove this water molecule. I don't need that water molecule right now. Okay. So this will be equal to H3O plus HF naught. And in the reactants, we will have the delta HF naught of H2. Okay. And how much F2? How much? Half of H2. And after that, we have negative of half of the delta HF naught of Cl2. The delta H naught of reaction is 168. Okay. Now again, this part here, HF naught formation of H3O plus. So in H2O, we know that it can break up into two parts, H plus and OH negative. So these H plus ions, they can again add to water and form H3O plus. So H3O plus is nothing new. It is already present when I am writing H2. Okay, H3O plus is just another case of writing what? Another case of writing H2O. So essentially this will be already there. We are not forming H3O plus. So this will be 0. Now you have to maybe see the recordings to understand why H2 and Cl2 will also be 0. I hope Mariam, Sarah, and other guys, you understand why these two things will be 0 in the standard state, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So if you have any element which is in their most stable state, okay, in the most stable state, that means you think of an element. Let me think of iron. Now, when I think of iron, I think of iron, the element, and as well as the iron solid, which is the most stable state of iron. Now, if I think about nitrogen, the most stable state for nitrogen element is what? N2. Now, for these most stable states, we are not forming this. Okay, so this is already occurring in nature, and that's why the delta H formation is 0. We don't need any energy, no energy is involved in the formation of these molecules. Okay, so that is why we will have H2 and Cl2 as 0. So, okay, this will be a negative sign here. I missed that negative sign. This is delta HF naught of chloride ion. Okay, so the three things, this I hope you remember, you know about these two things, why these are 0 and why this H3O plus is 0, because it is in aqueous phase. Okay, it is in aqueous phase. Okay, so you can write this down and let me know if you're done. Let me zoom out a bit. You can raise your hand if you're done. But Samaya, what subjects do you have? Maths or biology?
Biology, sir.
Biology. And with biology, what do you have?
IP, informatic practices.
Informative practices. What
Yeah.
happens in that subject?
In that they will learn Python and MySQL and all.
Achha, okay, so it is like computer science only.
Yeah.
But what name did you say? Information processes or information?
Informatics practices.
Informatics. Practices. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Syllabus. Fundamentals of computers, programming, basic structure, constructs of structured programming approach that includes program structure, identifier, variables, control structure, Python data structures, dictionaries, the handling, database management, introduction to database and its purpose, SQL, relational data, okay, data handling, Python every data handling is called NumPy. Oh, NumPy, you are going to learn NumPy also. Analyzing data through basic statistics and interpretation. Okay, pandas भी पढ़ाएंगे matplotlib भी, that's fine. Internet and web and introduction to internet, world wide web structure, world ICT. Okay, social impact of IT. Oh, that's good. That's good. SQL is fine. You are interested in computer science?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, it's quite heavy course, huh? They have emerging trends in that you have brief understanding of the following emerging trends, and they have artificial intelligence, machine learning, this which is fine, but they have then natural language processing, NLP, then immersive experience, AR and VR, robotics, big data, Internet of Things, sensors, smart cities, cloud computing, cloud services, grid computing, okay,
Yes, sir, but then
blockchain
it is
technology.
easy.
Sorry, Samaya?
It is easy only.
It is easy only. Matlab wo, like it is not in depth.
Yeah, no. Python and all is so easy.
Python to easy hoga. Okay, okay, so
not taught us till now.
okay. Oh, so like artificial intelligence, they are defining artificial intelligence and that's it. Done. Superficial.
They have
What's
not
main?
taught.
We have not taught those things. Okay.
Yeah. Till now, only Python and MySQL is completed.
What have you learned in Python? You have learned the variable string and lists and dictionaries.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
dictionaries and list and all.
Okay. Tell me, what is the indexing in Python?
Pardon?
The list starts with which index? You have learned about indexing? No.
No.
No. Okay. For example, if I have let us say a Python list which is 2, 1, and 0, then if I want to print this 2, do you know how to pop this out? What should I call?
Code is there. One code is there.
अरे code नहीं हो जाएगा. It's a function type of thing. It's not a code. Well, one phrase only, na? One line only, na?
Yeah, just one line, but then it is pop function is there.
हाँ, हमने pop बोल दिया था, आपको pop याद आ गया. Okay. No, pop, but in pop we remove it, na?
Pop will remove the last one. No.
Pop will remove. I want to print this. Anyone from
Sir, I'm
computer
not
science?
sure.
Not sure. Anyone from computer science, Python, who remembers what is the function? I think it's not a method, it's a function. Hishma?
Indexing starts from 0, right?
Indexing starts from 0. So how will I enter this till now?
So it will be print 0.
Print 0. It will
From
print 0, no? Tell me, how should I, what is the syntax? Print? Yes, Hishma, print list and then square brackets means 0. Right?
Something like that, sir.
Something like that. Really, at least Python तो आप लोग पढ़िए. You guys have laptops and all for practice or no? Guys?
Sure.
Okay. Right. Okay, so what we are going to do now, we are going to read about a few more enthalpy of changes. Okay. And after that we are going, essentially in today's class, we are only going to learn about different enthalpy of changes, whatever reaction can happen and whatever changes can happen in chemistry, we are going to learn about them. Okay, so please write different types of enthalpy change. I would rather say enthalpy change, different type of enthalpy change. Yeah, so I want to start with a simple question. I have H2O, which is a solid, and I'm converting this to H2O, which is a gas. So tell me, will energy be required for this change, or energy will be released by this change? Energy will be required or energy will be released for this change if I want to go from H2O solid to H2O gas?
It will be required, right? Because it is breaking up of molecules.
Yes, correct. I hope all of you have the same answer, that this will be requiring some energy. Okay. Now the second question is that, and I want everyone's answer in chat. You don't have to speak it out loud. The question is this a chemical reaction? Is this a chemical reaction? The answer in chat, is this a chemical reaction? Okay, Mariam. Okay, Hishma. We got only 2 answers. What about Aisha, Matthew, Sakshi, Samaira, Sarah, Sumaya? This has nothing to do with thermodynamics. Okay, I hope you can answer this at least. Okay, let me rephrase. What do you think? I am mad, right? What do you think? Okay. Okay, Sarah. Okay, Matthew. Okay, Samaira. What about Sumaya? Sakshi? Sumaya and Sakshi have not answered. Sakshi ne answer kiya nahi? I don't think so. And also Aisha has not answered. Okay, Sakshi. Sumaya, you have not answered. What do you think, Sumaya? Sumaya, are you there?
So I have sent.
You have sent? Okay, no, you have to send to Salim, the one who is speaking. Okay, fine. Okay. Mariam, can you tell me why it is not a chemical reaction?
Sir, a chemical reaction is in which the new substance is formed and it cannot be reversed back into the substances what it was before. And here, water can again go back into the state of solid.
Okay, but what do you mean that we cannot reverse a chemical change? I mean, in a chemical reaction, you are saying no, that we cannot reverse it?
If we burn a paper, it turns into ashes.
Yeah,
then
true.
It will not change back into a paper.
It will not change back into the paper. Okay, so that is a chemical reaction, you are saying, correct?
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
a chemical change, right?
Yeah, chemical change, exactly. So there are 2 forces, right? You have chemical change and there is physical change. Okay, there is chemical change and then there is a physical change. Now in chemical change, you will be making and breaking of, there will be making and breaking of bonds. But and in physical change, all the physical change, it will be arising due to some physical force. Some physical force. Okay, for example, if I go from water that is solid, that is ice, to water, this can be, if I heat it, then it will go from solid to gas. And if I, solid to gas, right? Okay, and then I have to cool it. Okay, I have to cool it to convert it back to solid. Okay, I have to convert, if I want to convert it back to solid. Now this, whatever we write here, it is not chemistry right now. Okay, I mean, it is a chemistry in some sense, but it is not a chemical reaction. That is why these will be not called as enthalpy of reactions. Okay, so these will not be enthalpy of reactions. These are enthalpy of phase transformations. Okay, phase transformation. So whatever enthalpy change that we are going to study right now, delta H naught. Okay, why am I writing naught? Naught means standard state in which we have 1 bar of pressure and everything is getting converted from the most stable state in that particular temperature. Okay, so this naught means standard state. Okay, whatever standard state means, that is some other matter. You don't have to worry about that right now. Delta H naught, we can learn about some phase transformations. That is phase transformation. Okay, and then there will be enthalpy change of reactions and reactions. So we have seen a few types of reaction. Enthalpy of reaction, obviously we have seen. We have also seen enthalpy of formation. There are other enthalpies, for example, enthalpy of combustion, enthalpy of atomization, bond enthalpy. lattice enthalpy. Okay, so all of these things we will be learning in terms of reaction. But first of all, let us learn about the phase transformation. The phase transformation. So there are whatever phase transformation can happen. You can go from solid to liquid, right? Secondly, you can also go liquid to solid. Fine. What else can we do? We can go liquid to gas, right? And we can also go gas to liquid. Okay, and what else? We can go from solid to gas. Yes or no? Can we go solid to gas?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
What is that called?
sublimation.
Sublimation. Okay, fine. Now, can all of you help me? Solid to liquid. What should I call this? Solid to liquid.
Melting.
Melting. Okay, a bit better word.
Heating.
What?
Heating.
Heating. There is a word which is known as fusion. Okay, there is a word which is known as fusion. So the enthalpy change that is accompanied when we melt 1 mole of solid or 1 mole of solid in standard state to the liquid form, it is known as fusion. So here we'll be calling upon the delta H of fusion. Okay, fusion. Now always remember this will be 1 mole of solid, 1 mole of liquid, 1 mole of liquid, 1 mole of gas, 1 mole of solid. Okay, what about if I go from liquid to solid? What will this be called as?
Freezing.
Freezing, right? Now, rather than writing anything else, what I can say is that if I'm just reversing this particular reaction, liquid to solid, I can say that it is negative of fusion. Yes or no? Can I say that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I can also write this as delta H naught of freezing. Okay. And also this will be equal to the negative of delta H naught of fusion. Whatever the value of fusion is, it will be the negative of that. But if I go from liquid to gas, it will be delta H naught for vaporization. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, vaporization. Now, if I go from gas to liquid, that will be delta H naught condensation, correct?
Yes, sir.
And this will be equal to the negative of delta H naught of vaporization. Okay. Now, if I go from solid to gas directly, this will be delta H naught of sublimation. And I can say that how am I going from solid to gas? I will be firstly going solid to liquid and then liquid to gas, right? So delta H of sublimation, can I write that this will be the sum of, it will be the sum of the enthalpy of fusion and the enthalpy of vaporization. Yes or no? Can we think of it like that? That if I'm going from solid to gas, what I'm doing is either I can have 2 paths, right? I have 2 paths. See, here is solid and here is gas. Okay, there is somewhere, let us say there is liquid. Now the energy, these are energies. Okay, these are energies, right? So what I can do is, rather I can say that solid is quite low in energy. Then we have liquid, a slightly more energy, and then we have gas, which has very high energy. So these are, now if I directly go from solid to gas, then also the energy change is how much? This much is the energy change, right? Now, and if I take a path, I go from solid to liquid and then to liquid to gas, then also the energy change from solid to gas is same, correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
It is like distance and displacement, right? So whatever enthalpy change is that is there, right? It's a state function. So it doesn't matter whether we are going from solid to gas directly or we are going from solid to liquid to gas. The enthalpy change will be the same. So rather than for writing solid to gas, I can write that solid to gas, which is sublimation, it is equal to, this will be equal to the delta H naught of fusion plus the delta H naught of vaporization. Okay, please write this down. Let me know if you're done.
Done, sir.
All of you done? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what we can do, we can write about the reactions now. Okay. So this is different type of enthalpy change. There are some phase transformation and there are some reaction. There are some phase transformation and there are some reactions. Okay. What I can do is let me write a question for you guys and then we can move on using these terms. So write a question. Okay. So let us suppose there is a swimmer and he's coming out of the pool, right? So there will be some water that is stuck to his body. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Swimmer out of pool has about 18 gram has about 18 gram of water, has about 18 gram of water. You understand the idea what I'm trying to picture it on. Okay. Now tell me how much heat is required to evaporate. How much heat is required to evaporate this water at 298 Kelvin. Okay, at 298 Kelvin. And they have also asked to calculate the internal energy of vaporization 298 Kelvin. Okay, they have given the delta H naught of vaporization for H2O at 298 Kelvin. This is equal to 44 kilojoule per mole. 44 kilojoule per mole. Okay. So see, the first thing that we have to do is we have to identify the chemical reaction or whatever the phase transformation that is going to happen. So in this case, you will be having a phase transformation. That what we need is to evaporate, right? We need to evaporate what? Water. So at 298 Kelvin, 298 Kelvin is how much? 25 degrees Celsius. So room temperature. So at room temperature, water will be in liquid state. So I'll write H2O liquid is going to get converted into H2O gas, and this probably will require some heat. We need to find that heat. So I will say that delta H for this vaporization will be equal to how much? We need to find that out. Okay, we need to find that out. Yes or no? Any problem till here?
No, sir.
No problem. Okay. Now this is very easy. First of all, we have been given the delta H naught for vaporization, and that is equal to delta H naught of vaporization. It is equal to how much? 44 kilojoule per mole. So the quantity that we have been given is per mole, and the quantity in question is in grams. Okay. So this is how problems are done. Whatever you have written, whatever has been given here, no? Delta H naught for vaporization of H2O at 298 Kelvin. This is something that you will be looking up in the record books and in the data booklets in real time. So right now it is given you in the question, but if this is a real problem, then we have to fetch this up in the data booklets. So we have been given in moles, we have to convert this in moles. So we'll write a statement, number of moles of H2O to be evaporated. That is equal to the, what is the given mass? The given mass by molar mass, which is equal to 18 grams divided by 18 grams per mole, right? So this is equal to 1 mole. This is equal to how much? 1 mole. So we need to evaporate how much? We need to evaporate 1 mole of water. We need to evaporate 1 mole of water. That means I can say energy required, or rather heat required. Heat required for evaporation of 1 mole of H2O, it will be equal to how much? 1 mole into 44 kilojoule per mole. So I can cancel this mole and mole, and then I can directly write this will be equal to 44 kilojoule. Okay, so write this down. I will give an extension of this question. Let's write this down.
Done, sir.
What about others? Done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, one thing is that we need to calculate the internal energy. Just hold on that bit for a while and write a B part here. Calculate the energy required. Calculate the energy required to convert 1 liter of H2O to water vapor. To water vapor. Okay, and again the delta H naught vaporization of H2O is equal to 44 kilojoules per mole. Okay, so what you need to do here is that you need to calculate how many moles are there in 1 liter of water, and whatever moles you get, you just multiply that number of moles to 44 kilojoule per mole. Okay, so you need to calculate how many, what is the number of moles of 1 liter of water. Yes, I hope you have at least found what is the mass of 1 liter of H2O. Can you send that in chat? What is the mass of 1 liter of H2O? Yes, guys, can you send that in chat? No one? What is the mass of 1 liter of water? Ifat, can you tell me? Yes, Ifat. You know it or you don't know?
Sir, is it kilogram?
Is it you're asking at? Okay. Hishma, what do you think? What is the mass of 1 liter of water?
No idea.
No idea. What about Mariam?
Not sure, sir.
Not sure. Okay. Fine. So we have liter and we have mass. Okay. So what are we measuring when we say liter? Yes, Samira, correct. What are we measuring when I say liter? We are measuring. What are we measuring? Liter means we are measuring volume, na? Yes or no, guys? Yes, Ifat, Hishma, Mariam, Matthew.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now you tell me, what is the relationship between mass and volume? What is the relationship between mass and volume? There is something na, which is related to mass and volume.
Density.
Density, yeah, correct. So density is equal to mass by
One.
volume. So mass will be equal to the density times volume. So we need the density of water, right? Yes or no, guys? We need the density of water. Do you guys know density of water? Yes or no? See, I would have been happy if you at least came and asked me, sir, tell me the density of water, then I can tell you what is the mass. Okay. So you're obviously open to ask any question here. So do you know? No one knows density of 1 gram per ml. The weight of 1 milliliter of water is equal to 1 gram. And into volume, what is the volume? 1 liter means 1000. You have to be consistent with our units. 1000 ml. So I can cancel this ml with this ml, and this will be equal to 1000 grams, which is equal to 1 kg. That is correct what Ifat said, but she was confused. I was not liking that. Now, I hope you will remember this. I think we did this also in the first chapter. Yes, guys, in stoichiometry. And also, I have also, we have also calculated the number of moles in 1 liter of water, if you can remember. I think some of you have done the first chapter with me.
Yes.
No one did. Mariam, you did first chapter with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I hope you remember we calculated the number of moles of water in 1 liter of water. Now you can do this, okay? Calculate the number of moles and send me in chat. Send me the number of moles, okay? Send me the number of moles at least in 1 kg of water. Okay, I've got one chat. Yes, Hishma, correct. Matthew, you know the formula, na? How to calculate number of moles? No, Sarah?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Try again, Sarah. I think you're missing something. You're missing with the molar mass of water, I guess. Yeah. You should half it, I guess. You should half it, Sarah. Yeah, correct now. Okay. Yes, Mariam, correct. Yes, yes, correct, Matthew. Very good. Yes, Samaira, correct. Yes, Aisha, Ifat, correct. Now you guys can calculate now how much energy will be required. Yes, Matthew, Mariam, Hishma, Sakshi. Yes, guys, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
For 1 mole, you're requiring 44 kilojoules. So for this much amount of moles, whatever you have got in your answer, how much energy will be required? Simple unitary method. Okay, I've got answer from Hishma. Yeah. Samaira, you are going somewhere. Okay, yeah, I understand that. Okay, fine. Yeah, that's correct. That's okay. Just be cautious that you at least have 2 decimal places. Okay, you should have numbers after there should be 2 non-zero digits after decimal place. There should be 2 non-zero numbers after the decimal point. Okay, just to be safe. Okay, so Samaira and Hishma, I've got answers from you guys. I'm waiting for others. Okay, so those who have done that question, now they can move on, and they have also asked the enthalpy. No, sorry, they have asked the internal energy change, that is delta U for vaporization. Okay, so delta U for vaporization. Yes, Mariam, correct. Now, those who remember the formula for delta U is equal to what? Delta U is equal to delta H, and then minus delta NGRT minus delta NGRT. Okay, so number of change, I mean, whatever the change is there in terms of the number of moles of gases. So delta U vaporization will be equal to delta H of vaporization minus the change in number of moles of gas in a particular reaction times the universal gas constant times the temperature. So this is for the A part. Okay, for the A part we have to calculate. So delta H was found to be 44 kilojoule per mole minus what is the change in the number of moles of gas? So you have, what is the change, guys? 1, no, because H2O liquid to H2O gas. So here we have 0 moles of gas and here we have 1 mole of gas. So product minus reactant, that is the change. This will be equal to what? 1. So I'll write here 1 times R will be equal to 8.314 times temperature, that is 298 Kelvin. Okay. So whatever answer you are getting, you will be getting this in terms of 44 minus 8.314 into 298. This will be in terms of kilojoule. So write this down. Let me know if you're done. These reactions will be coming here and there. Okay. Delta U is equal to delta H minus delta NGRT. Write this down, then we can move on to the enthalpy or different enthalpy of reactions. Raise your hand if you're done. Raise your hand if you're done. Okay. Okay. 2 are done. Okay, fine. Waiting for Hishma, Matthew, Sakshi, Sumaya. Samara is done. Okay, waiting for Aisha. Okay, Sakshi got disconnected. Aisha, let me know if you're done. Whether Aisha is also writing or not. Okay. Now let us move on to write the heading. Different types of enthalpy of reaction. Different types of enthalpy of reaction. Okay, so what is the difference between this topic and the earlier topic? The earlier topic was whatever the enthalpy changes there. Okay, whether it is a chemical reaction or it is not a chemical reaction, we did not worry about that. If there was some transformation, whether it was physical or a chemical transformation, we differentiated between them. That there are some phase transformations, there are some reactions, and we will be writing the enthalpies for both of them. So the phase transformations are done. Now let us write the enthalpy of reaction, the enthalpy of reactions. Okay, so first of all, write with me the standard enthalpy of combustion. this will be shown as delta H, this degree sign for the standard, and this small lowercase c for combustion. This is my notation for the standard enthalpy of combustion. What does this mean? And what is the definition for this standard enthalpy of combustion? The energy required, or the enthalpy change rather, enthalpy change accompanied by the combustion of combustion of 1 mole of any substance. Okay, 1 mole of any substance in their standard state. Standard state means that it should be the most stable state. You don't have to worry about, rather, I'm just repeating the standard state because it is nothing. You don't have to worry about that. Okay. So, for example, I'm writing 2 reactions here. Okay, I'm writing 2 reactions here. Let us suppose you have, let us suppose the burning of butane. Okay, combustion of butane. This is C4H10. C4H10. So you have C4H10 plus O2. This is going to give me CO2 plus H2O. If I want to balance this, there are 4 carbons, so I will write 4 here. There are 10 hydrogens, so I will write 5 here. Now it is balanced. And after that, we have to look at the oxygen. So we have how many oxygen? 4 2 is 8. And plus 5, that is 13 oxygens. And here we have 2. Here we have 2 oxygens. So what I can do here is I can write 13. I can write 13 oxygens directly here and then multiply all of these things by 2. If I multiply by this 2 here, this will become 8 and this will become 10. Okay. Now if you match the number of oxygens, I hope this will balance now. So 13 O2, that means you have 26 oxygens in this sign. And after 26 oxygens, how much we have? 8 2s are 16 and 16 plus 10 again 26. Okay, so I hope you all can see that we do. In the both sides, we have 26 oxygens. Everything else is balanced. But if somebody sees that this is the reaction for the combustion of butane and he is writing the enthalpy change for combustion for butane, and he's writing something, then please remember that this is not right. Okay, this one is not right chemical equation. This chemical equation is not right if you want to write the standard enthalpy of combustion. Can somebody tell me why this is not right way of writing a chemical equation, of writing a thermochemical equation for the standard enthalpy of combustion? You can have a look at the definition and tell me why it is not right way.
Because here there are 13 mole of oxygen.
Yeah, okay. So what is the problem with 13 moles of oxygen?
I mean, 2 moles of butane, and it's supposed to be only 1 mole.
Yeah, exactly correct. So in the definition, as you can see, that the combustion of 1 mole of any substance. Okay. So this 1 mole should be a constant. So you cannot have 2 here. So how will we balance this? So we will keep them. Okay, sorry. Let me just keep it like this here. And let me write the correct reaction. So C4H10 plus 13 O2. It is going to give me 4 CO2. Sorry. Let me not write 13 right now. Plus 10 H2O. Now what you can do to balance this, you can just write 13 by 2. You don't need to multiply 2 everywhere else. Okay. So you just divide this equation by 2 and you will get 13 by 2 oxygen here. You will get this as 4 CO2 and 10 H2O. Then only you can write the delta H naught of combustion for butane. And this is equal to, that means obviously if you are burning something, heat will be liberated. That is why the negative sign, 2658 kilojoule per mole. Okay. So please remember that if you're writing for the enthalpy change of combustion, standard enthalpy of combustion, the substance which is getting reacted with oxygen should be 1 mole in the chemical equation that you have written. It doesn't matter how much moles of butane you are taking, but in the chemical equation only, you have to keep this as 1 mole. You have to keep that as 1 mole. Okay. Write this
So
down.
it will be 5 H2O, right, on the product?
Yeah, sorry. 5H2. Thank you. Then guys, can I move on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Write B part. Enthalpy of atomization. Enthalpy of atomization. How can I define enthalpy of atomization? Okay, first of all, this is shown as delta H naught A. Delta H naught A. Okay. Also, one more thing is that in NCERT textbooks, you will be seeing it write them like this: delta A and then the H naught like this. Okay, delta A H naught. But I don't know. I have been taught it like this: delta H naught A, and I have been using the same thing. Your teacher will not deduct marks for you. Okay, deduct marks for this delta H naught A if you write it like this. Okay, so enthalpy of atomization is the enthalpy change please write this with me: accompanying okay, the conversion of 1 mole of substance to its 1 mole of substance to its individual elements. In gaseous state. Okay, in gaseous state. For example, the type of reaction that we will be writing, is, for example, if you have H2, which is a gas. So what I can do, I can break this 1 mole of H2 and I will get 2 moles of hydrogen gas. Okay, 2 moles of hydrogen gas. Now, whatever energy will be required in this will be known as delta H naught of A. Delta H naught of A, and it is approximately equal to 440 or 435 kilojoule per mole. Okay, so we need to give 435 kilojoule per mole of energy to convert 1 mole of hydrogen gas into 2 moles of hydrogen atoms, 2 moles of individual hydrogen atom. Now, this is the case if you have H2, if you have O2, for example. Also, if you have O2 gas, then also you can convert this to oxygen gas, and there will be some energy required. But let us suppose you have CH4, which is a gas. Okay, it's a gas. Now, these were elements in the standard state. Now we have a molecule here. Okay, now CH4 will be getting converted into carbon in a gaseous form, plus 4 moles of hydrogen atom in gaseous form. Okay, now there will be some change in the enthalpy, and this is 1665 kilojoule per mole of energy is required. Now, another thing that you can have is some metals. So let us suppose you have sodium solid. Now, if I want to break sodium solid, then I can go till sodium gas, right? Because obviously, when we go from solid to gas, we are breaking some intermolecular forces of attraction, and to get the sodium gas. Now, this is also delta H naught of atomization. This is also delta H naught of atomization, which is equal to 108.4 kilojoule per mole. The important thing to notice here is that it is going from solid to gas. Now, I can also say that this is delta H of sublimation, right? This will be also equal to 108.4 4 kilojoule per mole. Okay, this is delta H of sublimation also. So there will be some times you will see that there is a relation between different enthalpy of reactions. Okay, so please write this down. Let me know if you're done.
Done.
All of you done? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now write bond enthalpy. Bond enthalpy. Bond enthalpy is delta H naught bond. Delta H naught bond. Definition of bond enthalpy is the enthalpy change accompanying the enthalpy change accompanying okay, wait a second. How did I write the definition? Okay, conversion of enthalpy change accompanying breaking of one mole of a particular type of bond, a particular bond. The enthalpy change accompanying breaking of one mole of a particular bond. It is known as the bond enthalpy. It is known as the bond enthalpy. Okay. Now, in this, you will see that we have to break how many? 1 mole of bonds. Okay. 1 mole of bonds. So if I go from, let us say, for example, if I go from 1 mole of H2 gas and I break the bonds here and I get 2 moles of hydrogen gas. Can you tell me how many moles of bond are there in 1 mole of H2? Actually, tell me in 1 molecule of H2, how many bonds are there? In H2 molecule, how many bonds are there?
Sir, could you repeat the question?
How many bonds are there in 1 H2 molecule?
1.
Yeah, thank you. So if I have 1 mole of H2, then how many bonds will be there in 1 mole of H2? Yeah. If I have 1 mole of, okay, what happened now? If I have, okay, who answered for this question? How many bonds are there?
Sir,
Yes,
I
Mariam.
did.
So tell me, how many bonds will be there if you have 2 H2 molecule?
2.
If you have 10 H2 molecule, then how many?
10.
If I have 1 mole of H2 molecules, then how many bonds will be there?
1.
1 mole, right? So for this diatomic type of gases, it is easy that we can directly define the reaction like this. Okay, we can define the reaction like this. So this will be accompanied by some enthalpy change. Now you don't have to write bond like this. It will be written like this, delta H naught. And I will be showing H bond is broken, and this is equal to 435 kilojoule per mole. Okay, and also you can see I'm going from H2 gas to 2H. So this will be also equal to the delta H naught of atomization. Okay, this will be also equal to delta H naught of atomization. So you will be given the delta H naught of atomization, and you have to see it as in the terms of delta H bond as bond enthalpy. Okay, let us write a few more examples. Let us have Cl2, and it is getting converted into 2 chlorine gas, and the delta H naught, and here we have Cl bond. Okay, Cl bond is being broken. This is 242 kilojoule per mole. Okay, and also this is also delta H naught of atomization for chlorine gas. But for example, if I have CH4 and I break all the bonds, then I will get carbon plus 4 hydrogen. Okay. So can you tell me how many bonds are broken if I have this reaction? How many bonds are broken? Or rather, how many bonds are there in CH4 molecule? Can you say it loudly?
4.
4 bonds. Okay. So if I have 1 mole of CH4, then how many bonds are broken? If I have 1 mole of CH4, then how many bonds are broken?
4.
4 moles, right? So now we are breaking 4 moles, and that is why I cannot write the delta H enthalpy. So for these type of polyatomic, is you can write for polyatomic molecules. For polyatomic molecules, mean bond enthalpy is calculated, is used as delta H naught bond. Okay. So for example, in CH4, just giving you carbon plus 4 hydrogen accompanied by delta H naught. For this reaction, it is equal to how much? For this reaction, it is equal to 1665 kilojoule per mole. Okay. Now, if I want to calculate the delta H bond enthalpy, so for delta H naught of CH bond, what I have to do, I have to calculate the mean. So mean means we are breaking how many moles of bond? 4 moles. So what I will do, I will divide this term by 4 to get the enthalpy change or bond enthalpy of CH, the bond enthalpy of CH. So what I will do, I will write it like this. Delta H naught of CH, it is equal to delta H naught of the above reaction divided by 4, the number of moles of bond which are broken. So this will be 1665 kilojoule per mole divided by 4. This will be equal to how much? 4 4s, then 1s, and 4 4s, then 1s, then 25. So 6. So approximately 416 kilojoule per mole. Okay, so write this down. Let me know if you're done.
Done, sir.
All of you done? Is there anyone who's still writing? Let me know. If it's
One second, sir,
Samira.
1 second.
Okay. Yeah, please let me know if you're writing. Okay. You let me know if you're done. Okay.
Yes, sir, I'm done.
Okay.
Done, sir.
Okay. Now write next relationship between delta H naught bond and delta H naught of a reaction. Delta H naught of a reaction. So when we talk about reaction, we are talking about products and we are talking about reactants. We are talking about products and reactants. So we have A. Let's say not A, rather I should say, just say that we have AB. It is forming CD. AB is forming CD. So essentially what we are doing is we are destroying, breaking the AB bonds, we are breaking the AB bonds, and what we are doing about the CD bonds, we are forming CD bonds. So breaking of bonds requires energy, right? And forming of bonds releases energy. Okay. So whenever you are breaking something, whenever you are breaking a bond, that will require some kind of energy. And if you are forming some bond, there will be a release of energy. There will be a release of energy. Okay. There will be a release of energy. But if you think about in terms of, it will be release of energy. So let me see what is happening. What is happening here? There will be some energy required. Okay. So let me say that this is energy that is required to break bonds now. So to break bonds. Okay, break bonds, and there will be some energy released. Okay, so what I can write here is bonds to form bonds. Okay, to form bonds. Fine. And what is delta HR? What is reaction? Reaction is whatever energy is required to break bonds and whatever energy that is required, whatever energy is required to form bonds. Okay, it is delta H naught of reaction will be equal to the energy required for breaking of bond, okay, plus whatever bond is formed, okay, plus whatever bond is formed. So it is the sum of the heat involved in breaking and heat involved in forming. Yes or no? Correct, guys?
Yes.
Any problem till here? No problem. Okay. Now I will write this as delta H. What we are forming? We are breaking bonds, and here also we are forming bonds, right? So I can write this is what delta H naught of AB. Okay, correct? Any problem till here? No problem. Plus I will write something. I will write something here for the forming of bonds. What should I write? Can somebody tell me? Delta H naught
A plus B.
A plus B. Forming bonds, no? What is forming? Which bond is forming?
CD.
CD bond is forming. Okay, CD bond is forming. Okay, so maybe right now you think that this particular statement is correct, but let me tell you there is a problem with this statement that we have written. We have to slightly change this. Okay, Mariam, can you tell me what does this mean? Delta H naught CD, what we have written?
The energy required to form.
No, this is bond enthalpy, na?
Yes, sir.
This is bond enthalpy, correct, Mariam?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is the definition of bond enthalpy?
The energy required to break one
Break,
mole of
na?
bond.
Right? So we cannot write like this. Yes or no?
Yes.
All of you agree? All of you agree. See, what is this? The statement is the enthalpy change accompanying 1 mole of a particular. Okay, fine. So it means that till here we are okay. That energy required to break some bond and energy required to form some bond. That is the sum of the energy change in a particular reaction. That is still there. It is correct. But how do we represent the formation of bonds? We know how to represent the breaking of bond by bond enthalpy, but we don't know how to represent forming of bonds. So there is a very easy way of doing that. What is the easy way? If I want to say, let us suppose CD, okay, and to break this bond, I require delta H naught CD, correct? Any doubt till here? To break this bond, I require delta H naught CD. Let us suppose, let me give it a number, 20 joules. To break this bond, I require 20 joules of energy. So tell me, how much energy will be released? How much energy will be released if this bond is formed? The same amount of energy, but in negative sign, yes or no? 20 joules. To break, I need 20 joules. That means if I form this bond, 20 joules of energy will be released, correct? We have done this idea, no?
Yes,
If I go
sir.
from A to B, and I come back from B to, and I came back from B to A, then if this requires 20 joules, then B to A will be requiring negative of 20 joules. Okay, that means I can say forming of bonds is equal to the energy. Okay, the energy that is required or that is involved in the forming of bond, it is equal to the negative of the energy, negative of energy that is involved in breaking of bond. Right? So I can write this as the negative of delta H naught of CD. Any problem? You don't have to write these things. Tell me. Are you okay with this formulation till here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now, since you have understood it, now you write it like this. Delta H naught of reaction, it is equal to the sum of, I will write bond enthalpy, okay, of what? Bond enthalpy of reactants minus the sum of bond enthalpy of products. Okay. Minus the bond enthalpy of products. So please remember that this negative sign here, it is just representing that these bonds are being formed. Okay. So this positive sign is representing that these bonds are being broken. This negative sign is representing that these bonds are being formed. Bonds broken and bonds formed. Okay. Now you don't have, you will directly put in the bond enthalpies of products and reactants in any question that is given. Okay. Write this down. Let me know if you're done. And then let us do one problem. Yeah, any doubt, guys?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Fine. Write a question. Calculate the enthalpy change of reaction for following reaction. For following reaction. You have CH2, Cl2. It is getting converted to carbon, which is a gas, plus 2 hydrogen, plus 2 chlorine gas. So there are some information that is given. It is given that you have been given average bond enthalpies of the CH bond is equal to, of the CH bond is equal to 414, we calculated na, kilojoule per mole, and CCl bond, and for CCl it is equal to 330 kilojoule per mole. Okay, write this question. So Matthew, Ifat, Sumaya, all of you have written this question, yes or no?
1 second.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Come on. I finished the question.
Look at the reaction and tell me what are the bonds broken? What are the bonds broken?
The CH bond is broken.
Okay, CH bond is broken. How many CH bond is broken?
1.
One CH bond is broken. Can you write this complete structure? and look and tell me, is there any other bond that is broken? Cl bond also, right? This
Yeah,
complete
Cl
bond, all the
also.
bonds, Cl bond also, CCl bonds, CCl. And if you look at the structure, what is the structure? C, and then you will have let us say hydrogen, Cl, 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 and there will be double bond here. Correct? Oh no, sorry, there is only one carbon. No? Sorry, my bad. We'll have carbon, hydrogen, chlorine. Okay. So as you can see, there are two CH bonds broken. Yes. Right, guys? Two CH bonds are broken, and how many? And I will say two Cl bonds are broken. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so two CH bonds and two Cl bonds are broken. Fine. So bonds broken are done. What are the bonds formed? What are the bonds formed in this reaction? Tell me. Is there any bond which is formed? Is there any bond which is formed?
No, because it's
No.
because
Okay.
all of them have been separated.
Yeah, all of them have been separated into individual elements. So I can write the delta H naught of reaction. It is equal to only the whatever energy is required in for the formation of bonds. Yes or no? Oh, sorry, bonds broken, for the breaking of bond broken. So what are the bonds broken? 2 into CH plus 2 into CCl bonds. What is the enthalpy change for CH bonds? It is 414. What is the enthalpy change for CCl bond? It is 330. Okay, so that is it. You just multiply these two numbers, add them, and whatever answer you get in kilojoules per mole, that will be the answer. Fine. Simple. Okay, these questions, thermodynamic questions, are conceptually very simple. You have either products are formed and broken, and then you have to just keep in mind what are the equations. It's not going to be very complex. I assure you guys. Okay, write this down. Let me know if you're done, and also to send the answer in chat. Send the answer in chat. One thing is that there is a lot of chance that you may do mistakes in the sign. So please keep a look with the sign. I mean, the sign thing, even I can get wrong sometimes. So in the examination, what you have to do now, conceptually you will be correct. Conceptually you will be correct. Here negative, here positive. Here we should have negative sign. Here we should have positive sign. But while doing some questions, you can do that mistake. Okay, that is inevitable. So in examination, what you can do is you should recheck the thermodynamic questions every time and focus on the charges. Yeah, Mariam, correct. Yes, correct. So if I multiply these two and add these two, you will be getting 1488 kilojoules per mole. Yes, Samira, correct. Okay. I'm just moving this. If you have not written it, no problem. You have the question, you know how to do it. You can do it later on also. Okay. Let me give you one more question, and I just want you to answer me a few things and then do the question at home. Okay. So calculate again the delta H naught R of, that is the enthalpy of reaction of following a reaction. So in this reaction, we have CH2 double bond CH2. It is reacting with 3 moles of O2, and it is giving me 2 moles of CO2, and it is giving me 2 moles of H2O. Okay, 2 moles of H2O. So bond dissociation energies. Okay, bond dissociation energy for some of the elements are given. So for CH bonds, for the CH bonds, we write it like this. For the CH bond, it is 414. Then you have O2 bond, right? O double bond O. It is 499. Then we have C double bond O. We have C double bond OO, which is 724. Then we have OH 460. Then we have C double bond C also, which is 619. Okay, all of them are in kilojoule per mole. Okay, all of them are in kilojoule per mole. So what you just need to tell me, bonds broken. What are bonds broken and what are bonds formed? Yeah. So see, never start with the reaction, okay? One advice that I will tell all of you guys, never start with the reaction. What you should start with is the information that is given, okay? So you look at the first thing that is given, CH bond, and tell me whether it is getting broken or formed. CH bond is getting broken or formed?
Broken.
Okay, guys? Broken. Okay, broken. Okay, fine. So CH, but how many CH bonds? That you have to look at the reaction now. How many CH bonds? How many CH bonds?
4.
4, right? All of you agree? Hishma, Mariam, Sakshi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now tell me. For O2, it is getting broken or formed? O2 is getting broken or formed? Okay, what happened? Mariam, Hishma, Samaira,
Formed.
Sarah, formed. O2 is being formed. Yes, who said formed?
Sir, I said.
Where it is formed? In here? Yes,
Yes,
Hishma?
sir. Yes.
Naina, see, you have to write the, you should know the, what is the structure, na? CO2 is like this, na? H2 is like this. Okay, so you have to know the structures because the bonds are now being involved. Okay, so as you can see, O2 is being broken. How many O2? 3 O double bond O's are breaking down. Okay, now there is something else which is getting broken in the reaction. Okay, let us say, what about CO bond? It is being formed. So I will write 2. There are 2 in here and there are 2 moles of CO. So there are 2 CO bonds in a CO2 molecule and there are 2 moles of CO2. So I will say there are 4 moles of CO bonds which are being formed. Okay, so 4 into C double bond O. Similarly, I will say about OH bond, there will be 4 OH bonds
4
are formed.
OH bond.
Now, what about C double bond C? It is getting broken, correct? So plus C double bond C. Okay, so what you have to do here is delta H of reaction is equal to bonds broken minus bonds formed. Okay, see, all of you will agree that the thermodynamics part is easy. Whatever you have learned till now about bonding, those things are getting used in thermodynamics. That is why it gets a bit tough, because it's getting multi-conceptual. You have learned chemical bonding and structure, and that information, that knowledge is going to be